What's up, guys? Here at my Walking Dead Season 2 discussion. This one's going to be on the multiple endings we had at the end of Season 2 now. Before I start, I'm going to say I'm not going to be doing predictions forever. Probably a few before I actually stop them, because obviously we don't have enough material to go off of, because we aren't waiting for a new episode or anything. Possibly DLC, but that'll be another video. But anyways, we're waiting for about a year or two, like at least till late 2015. So we'll see about that. I'm gonna be doing a few videos, predictions, and stuff like that, but then other than that, I'm ending it. So you gotta wondering what I'm doing on my channel now that Walking Dead Season 2 has ended. Remember that game that Telltale announced a while ago called Tales from the Borderlands? Yeah, I'm gonna be doing stuff about that because I love Telltale and I love Borderlands, and the franchise just coming together with Telltale, it's gonna be great. I can't wait for that game. I might be doing predictions on it if it's able to be predictable, so we'll see about that. Other than that, you know, more stuff will actually come to my channel, but that's another thing for another update. So anyways, moving on to the topic where we have the endings. We have three main endings that branch off into other endings, like the actual outcome of the endings. We had the Kenny ending, the Jane ending, and the Alone ending. Now in the Kenny ending, you had two choices: to stay in Wellington and to leave with Kenny. Now obviously if you stay in Wellington, you're going to a safe place for the baby. Kenny wanted you to stay inside Wellington so you'll be safe, and that's where you will end up being. Now obviously that means Kenny will be going off on his own with his supplies, and whether or not he will be alive will be unknown, because Edith said that they might have space in a few months, and depending on whether Kenny can actually survive that long and then come back to Wellington is really unknown right now. But obviously there could be people in there that we actually know, like what if Lily's in there, what if Eddie's in there, you know. There's a whole bunch of possibilities, but we don't know yet, because you know who will be in Wellington. Like really, who will be in Wellington, we don't know. Edith said that Krista wasn't in there, but that wasn't really a direct answer, like probably didn't know the girl's name. So I don't really think Krista's in there. She's probably gone, probably off-screen death. I really gave up my hope for Krista. I think Toto might have possibly killed her off-screen, so might be wrong, I don't really know yet. But anyway, it's the leave with Kenny ending. Obviously you're going to be leaving with Kenny. You have Clem, AJ, and Kenny is in one group, and they give you 2 bags of supplies, which they're supposed to give you like 1 bag, which is actually pretty nice. So definitely, you know, Edith wanted to let them in, but he really couldn't because they didn't have enough room for everybody. So what they'll probably end up doing is Kenny and them will end up, you know, camping somewhere around Wellington, and then when they have more room, they'll actually enter Wellington. Whether or not they'll actually get in there can actually be something that happens in the story. Like, here's what I think: like, the stay in Wellington, I think that Kenny will eventually be able to come in there after a few months, or you know, when you leave with Kenny, then you'll actually be able to come back in there. So either way, I think the Kenny ending will have you in the position of inside Wellington with Kenny, or maybe without Kenny. We'll have to see about that. So moving on to the Jane ending, which is my ending. Well, the Jane and Invited Family is my ending. That's what I chose, and I'm actually pretty interested in that ending. Okay, so I know most of you don't like it. That's just your opinion, and I respect that. You know, it's what I choose. So my game, my choices, my Clementine. Okay, so anyways, the Invite the Family in, you have Clem, AJ, and the family. The family's names are Randy, Gil, and Patricia. For the most part, Randy kind of seemed like he was kind of a nervous, you know, kind of like let us in, or please let us in. They were begging a lot, and Randy seemed like he was kind of like an ex-bandit for some reason to me. And you know, of course, we had Gil, the child, and we had Patricia. She was really nice. And anyways, on to not letting the family in. Obviously you will be alone with Jane, and whenever you reject them, they're like, what if we're dangerous? So they kind of like brought me, like, whenever I saw that, I was like, this guy really wants to get in, and he's softly threatening Clementine, like, what if we're dangerous? Just using that thought, like, we don't want to hurt anybody, but we really want to get in, therefore we're kind of softly threatening them. Not gonna do anything, but we're gonna just threaten them a little bit, like, hey, please let us in. They didn't really threaten too much, like, what if we're dangerous? The dude obviously had a pistol in his pants and everything, so that was pretty much it. Patricia didn't really threaten them too much, because Randy was the one who was actually threatening them. Patricia was like, please and everything. So that's pretty much it. Now the chance of Randy and his group or his family actually coming back in to attack could be a possibility, because I just want to talk about this for a second. Like, whenever they say that this is our child, I was thinking that, how the hell is he your child? Like, the dude's just like black. I'm gonna say you're both white and he's black. Obviously adoption. I'm gonna say adoption, but anyways, sorry, I had to say that a little bit. But anyways, moving on to the alone ending, where it can happen 3 different ways. Okay, you leave Jane, and obviously Jane's like, I can't do this alone, please don't leave, and everything else. She was kind of feeling bad. She was like, I need you, Clementine, I need you to be here with me. That's obviously like, Jane was kind of feeling kind of bad about, everything. She was like, I feel that Jane is kind of, from her saying that, is kind of using Clementine as a replacement for Jamie, because Jamie wasn't really strong enough to actually go on with Jane. So she's like, hey, what if I can use Clementine as a replacement, like a thought process of replacing Jamie, and you can go off of that fact and be like, I want to protect Clementine, I can't let her end up like Jamie. And that's what I think that it can actually signify, that Jane don't want to be alone anymore. She wants to have a little person to actually take care of, and that's Clementine. So obviously you will be alone with AJ in the field. The other time you can actually get this ending is where you shoot Kenny. Obviously Kenny will be dead. Wait, in the other one, you leave Jane. Jane will still be alive, but she'll be left unknown. So back to the Kenny one. Kenny will be dead if you shoot him and you're alone with AJ. And then you have the other last ending where you leave Kenny. You have more of an emotional outcome, like whenever Kenny's like, you should go, I'm too dangerous for you guys, I don't trust myself to be here with you guys. So basically, it's basically like the whole, like, it's like the Kenny ending plus just leaving. Like, at the Wellington, he was like, I don't trust myself, please go inside Wellington. And then here it's like, I don't trust myself, please go off on your own and be with AJ, take care of him, because I can't do it anymore. I trust you more than I trust myself to look after AJ. And that's what I think that Kenny was kind of getting to at both endings. He's like, I don't trust myself with you guys, so you should go on by yourself. So that's pretty much what I think it really signifies with all these endings. Now go back through the list and talk about what could happen in season 3 if they're actually used, because season 3, how will it actually work? There are so many different endings, and I would love to have Clementine back in a season 3 with these endings. Everyone has their own start to the season. That would be great. It will be very time consuming having to bring back these voice actors, bring back these choices and everything, but I'm really hoping for this to actually not be the end of Clementine's story, so we can bring her back for a 3rd and final season. I will be done with Clementine after this season. Just please, one more season of Clementine. After that, I don't really care who you make the protagonist. One more season of Clementine, come on. Okay, so anyways, the Kenny ending where you stay in Wellington. Obviously, this is The Walking Dead. You will not be safe for too long, and maybe there could be some kind of fall of Wellington. Maybe some walkers get in. Maybe there's some barricade that end up getting broken, and it could be the fall of Wellington, and therefore you have to escape and everything else. So that's what I think. Now, leaving with Kenny, I think that you will end up getting back into Wellington later on, and then obviously the fall of Wellington happens then. So maybe that. Now, Jane ending where you invite the family, I feel that they might turn on you later on, maybe after you want to build a community, helping out and stuff like that, and they turn on you. And then if you tell them to leave, they might be able to come back and attack you. So now personally, I'm most interested in Jane's ending, like the invite the family ending. I'm sticking with my choices. I'm sticking with this choice right here. I'm interested in this ending. I know it's not the best for some of you. You're like, oh, this ending sucks. Well, that's your opinion. I think the Kenny ending is best, the emotional wise, but the one that caught my interest the most was Jane's ending with the family, because being back at Hal's Hardware, you can actually probably having it build back up, start a community, and get new people. That's where I'm most interested in it. And Kenny's ending, while it is bittersweet and so sad, I think it's pretty good. It's good that way. But in the most interest to me, my personal opinion, I like Jane and the family's ending. So that's my opinion, and that's what I think will happen. You know, they might come back and attack, or they might turn on Jane and Clem later on. So as for the Alone ending, I'm not really sure where Clementine will end up in the story, because maybe she could be going back down south for some reason, because obviously it is way too cold up north and he wouldn't be able to survive up north while having everything. So going back down south would mean that you have to cross that. To me, like, you remember back in the ending, the complete ending of episode 5, you're in that field, and maybe you're crossing that same field to go back down to probably Georgia for some reason, maybe even farther down to Texas for some reason. So Mike did mention Texas, and Clementine could be actually going there. So it all depends. You know, we have 3 different locations. We probably have Texas, Wellington, and Hal's hardware shop. So that's pretty much it. I'm really hoping for season 3 to continue Clem's story just one more time. And I know some of you weren't too happy with my choice to go with Jane, but think about it. It's my story, it's my choices, it's my Clementine. There is no true ending, there is no best ending, there is nothing like that. It all comes down to opinion. You know, if someone says that Jane's ending is the best, that's their opinion. If someone says Kenny's the best, that's their opinion. You know, we have choices for a reason. We get to do what we want, and I felt that having to go with Jane was what I really wanted inside. And obviously Jane did some questionable stuff that I really should have been mad for. I was kind of mad, but I wasn't really, you know, thinking right. I was like, you know, this happened so fast, and Jane came up with an offer to me, and I just took it from her. So it all comes down to opinions, and if you respect mine, I will damn well respect yours. So hopefully some of you understand why I chose Jane. She was my favorite character this season, and I could not pass down the offer even after what she did. I was just so attached to her, and I was like, you know, I want to forgive her, put everything behind what we did, and obviously just put it all behind, leave it in there, and that's what I did. So hopefully you guys do understand. I don't want anything bad coming from this. If you chose Kenny, great. I hope you have a great time in season 3 if that happens, but I just want to do what I want to do without having people actually complain about it. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys do have any opinions and theories, put them down below. Tell me your thoughts on all the endings, whether you like them or not, and I'll catch you guys later. I'm out.